Have you ever found yourself tuning out a man's words, drawn instead to the silence between them, that fleeting pause that hits deeper than any promise? He says, "I love you," but your inner voice, that ancient feminine instinct, whispers, "Wait, don't trust the words, dig deeper." You linger in that uncertain space, caught between his claims and your doubts, searching for truth in his eyes, his tone, the way he moves. This unease isn't overthinking or fear, it's your soul craving authenticity. It's tired of polished phrases, fake smiles, and rehearsed lines. It yearns for raw, unfiltered truth, and as the great psychologist Carl Jung taught, truth rarely lives on the surface. In a world of spoken promises, it hides in the shadows of the unconscious mind, where words can't be planned or controlled. That unconscious speaks its own language, not through words, but through the body, especially the hands. A man's hands are like a mirror to his soul, revealing impulses he can't mask. While his words might play a role, charming, guarded, or distant, his hands betray what's really going on inside when he's not aware. They don't lie or pretend. They show who he is when he's not trying to impress. They create, destroy, touch, push away, protect, or signal unease. Watching this quiet dance, you can read what he'll never say out loud, whether he's offering his true self or holding back to gain something. Stop asking, "Does he love me?" Stop chasing verbal proof that can be empty. Instead, learn to see one hand gesture that tells you more about his feelings than 1,000 words could. This isn't palm reading or guesswork, it's depth psychology, a gift from Jung to unlock hidden truths. Get ready. We're diving into a world of unspoken signals, and what you discover might change how you see love, connection, and even yourself forever. 1. The giving gesture. How he hands things to you ****. When he gives you something, a coffee, a phone, a book, don't focus on the item. Watch how his hands move in that brief moment. This simple, everyday act is like a window into his inner world, revealing feelings he might not even know he's showing. Some men place the object down at a distance, avoiding any touch. It's a neutral move. Here's your coffee, here's your phone. There's no hostility, but no warmth either. Jung might interpret this as his logical, task-driven side taking over, treating you like a function rather than a person with whom he shares a bond. His hands are saying, "There's a gap between us, I'm just doing what's expected." It's practical, not emotional, like delivering a package without personal investment. This doesn't mean he's cold, it's just a sign of emotional distance, a relationship that's more about duty than heart. Now imagine a different scene. He hands you that same coffee, but his fingers linger, brushing yours for a split second. His eyes might be elsewhere, checking his phone, talking about something else, but his hand moves with care, almost like a ritual. This isn't just passing an object, it's an offering. Jung would see this as a harmony between his action-oriented side and his emotional core, the part that seeks connection and closeness. His hand isn't just completing a task, it's reaching out, craving contact. This isn't about politeness, which is a surface-level mask people wear to seem nice. This is raw energy, a glimpse of his true feelings slipping past his defenses. Even if he's upset, arguing, or distracted, if his hand seeks that brief touch, it means the connection matters more than the moment's tension. His deeper self is reaching for you, even if his pride or ego pushes back. Think about other moments of giving, like when he pays at a restaurant. If he hands over the card with calm confidence and then gently touches your hand or rests his fingers on yours, it's a quiet message, "I'm doing this for us, for our shared moment." It's not just about settling the bill. It's about including you in his actions, making you feel part of his world. But if his hands are tense, rough, or deliberately avoid contact, like he's afraid of getting too close, that's a signal too. It might point to inner restlessness, a fear of intimacy, or an unwillingness to fully let you in. His hands are saying, "I'm giving, but I'm holding myself back. I'm here, but not fully with you." Next time he hands you something, forget the object itself. Look at his hands. Are they open and relaxed, or closed and guarded? Do they seek connection or pull away? Are they gentle or stiff with tension? In that fleeting second lies more truth about his feelings than hours of conversation could reveal. It's not just a gesture, it's a confession from his unconscious, a truth you can now learn to read. This small act, often overlooked, carries the weight of his heart's intentions, offering clarity where words might fail. The resting gesture. His hands in quiet moments ***. The most honest moments are the quiet ones, when the chatter dies down and no one's putting on a show. He's sitting next to you, lost in thought. What do his hands do then? These unguarded seconds reveal truths he might not even know he's sharing. Picture this: you're in the car together. He's driving, focused on the road, and you're silent. Glance at his free hand. Does it stay on the gear shift, fidget nervously with the wheel, or find its way to yours, resting gently on your hand or leg? This isn't a planned move. He's not looking for a reaction or trying to impress. His unconscious is speaking, guiding his hand like an instinct to its natural place. You. Jung might describe this as a sign of deep trust, where you've become his safe harbor, his emotional home. It's not about passion or desire. It's a quieter, more profound need for grounding, saying, "You're my anchor, everything feels right with you here." This gesture speaks of acceptance and trust that words can't capture, a connection that runs deeper than surface attraction. Now consider the opposite. In calm moments, his hands are restless. He's scrolling his phone endlessly, even when there's nothing to see, tapping the table, clenching fists, or stuffing them in his pockets. What does this tell you? Hands that can't find peace signal inner turmoil. Jung would link this to suppressed emotions trying to break free. Constant phone use isn't just a habit, it's an escape, a way to avoid the silence where he might face his true self or the intimacy of being fully present with you. His hands are building an invisible wall. A phone in his hand isn't just a device, it's a shield, keeping vulnerability at bay. Pocketed hands are a classic sign of concealment. He's hiding his true intentions or emotions, not ready to open up completely. There's a part of him he's keeping from you, consciously or not. Watch his hands during other quiet times, like when you're watching a movie together. Are they relaxed, maybe resting near you or lightly touching your arm? Or are they tense, crossed over his chest, or gripping something tightly? Crossed arms often signal self-protection, an unconscious holding back of warmth or tenderness. These moments of stillness are when his guard is down, and his hands tell a story his words might avoid. If they seek you out, it's a quiet confession of comfort and belonging. If they're restless or hidden, it's a sign of inner conflict or distance. These small, unscripted movements are the truest window into his heart, revealing whether you're a part of his inner peace or a challenge he's not yet ready to face. 3. The creating gesture. How his hands build for you ***. Men often show care through actions, not words. When he takes on a task for you, fixing a shelf, setting up your laptop, cooking a meal, don't just notice the result. Watch his hands. Are they steady and focused, even when things go wrong? Or are they frustrated, slamming tools or rushing through? The way his hands move reveals his heart's truth. If his hands are tense, if he curses or tosses tools aside when something doesn't work, he's likely doing it out of obligation. The task feels like a burden, and his irritation betrays his deeper feelings, perhaps resentment or discomfort. Jung might see this as his shadow side surfacing, showing resistance or a lack of emotional investment. But if his hands work with patience, staying calm even when the screw won't fit or the recipe fails, it's a different story. This is almost meditative, a quiet, focused act of care. Jung would connect this to a man's instinct to bring order to chaos, to make your world safer and better. His hands are saying, "Your well-being matters to me. I'm here to make your life easier, to share my energy with you." Take any task, assembling IKEA furniture, troubleshooting your computer, or cooking dinner. If his hands move with intention and ease, it's not just about getting it done, it's about showing devotion through effort. For example, a man who chops vegetables for a meal with steady, confident motions isn't just cooking, he's pouring his care into the act, infusing it with meaning. It's a gesture of nurturing, a way of saying, "I want to take care of you." Compare that to a man who never lifts a finger, always outsourcing tasks, paying someone to fix things, ordering takeout instead of cooking, or calling a friend to handle it. This shows a kind of distance. He's solving the problem, but he's not personally invested. It's not wrong, but it's a sign he might be avoiding the vulnerability of giving himself fully through action. True feelings want to take shape in the real world. They can't stay as emotions or words, they need to become tangible, and hands are the tools for that. Hands that create for you with joy and focus belong to a man whose care is real, grounded in the here and now. It's in the fixed shelf that no longer wobbles, the computer that runs smoothly, the warm tea he brewed himself. These acts are love's most honest currency, far more telling than promises or declarations. When you see his hands working for you with genuine effort, you're seeing a man whose heart is engaged, not just floating in words but rooted in the reality of caring for you. 4. Reading his hands. A path to clarity ***. Hands don't lie, they're a direct line to a man's hidden depths. They reveal his fears, his strength, his tenderness, his struggles. They're quiet storytellers, carrying the truth of his soul in ways words can't. Jung's wisdom isn't about judging or catching him out, it's a compass for understanding. When you learn to read his hands, you move beyond the surface of what he says and tap into what he feels. This isn't about doubting him, it's about seeing clearly, finding truth in the unspoken. For example, think of a moment when you're upset, maybe after a small argument. He hands you a tissue or a glass of water. If his hand lingers, offering a gentle squeeze, it's a sign his heart is still reaching out, even if his words are sharp. But if he sets it down quickly, avoiding contact, it might show he's emotionally pulling back, letting the conflict outweigh the connection. Or picture a casual evening at home. You're both on the couch, no one's talking. If his hand rests near yours, maybe brushing your fingers, it's a quiet signal of comfort. You're his safe space. But if his hands are always busy, fidgeting, scrolling, hidden, it could mean he's not fully at ease, guarding a part of himself. These observations give you power. Not to manipulate, but to know. You stop relying on words that can be crafted or promises that might fade. Instead, you gain a steady inner clarity, grounded in what's real. Jung spoke of wholeness, the journey to integrate all parts of yourself, including the ability to see truth without illusions. Reading his hands is a step on that path. You become the observer, not the one chasing answers. And here's the magic. When you understand his unspoken signals, you don't need to ask, "Does he love me?" The answer is clear in his reaching hand, his protective gesture, his gentle touch. You just know, and that knowing, born from quiet truth, is the freedom every woman craves. It makes you not a victim of doubt, but a keeper of truth, strong and magnetic in your own right. 5. The deeper connection, synchronicities and destiny. Have you ever met someone and felt a pull you couldn't explain, like your souls were meant to cross? It's not just their looks or charm, it's a deeper resonance, a spark that feels fated. Jung taught that these aren't random, they're signs from the collective unconscious, guiding us toward growth and wholeness. These destined connections often show up at pivotal moments, when you're on the edge of change, searching for a missing piece of yourself. The universe, in its quiet wisdom, brings you together with someone who helps you become more whole, even if the journey isn't always smooth. These bonds challenge you to face your shadows, the fears, insecurities, or past wounds you've pushed down. They're not just about romance. They're about transformation. The person you feel this pull toward acts like a mirror, reflecting your strengths but also your vulnerabilities, inviting you to heal and grow. You might notice synchronicities, strange coincidences that tie your paths together. Maybe you were in the same place years ago without meeting, or you share the same symbols in dreams, or your thoughts align in eerie ways during silent moments. These aren't accidents, they're the universe's way of saying, your paths are linked beyond what you can see. As the connection deepens, these signs grow stronger. You might face similar struggles at the same time, even miles apart, or make a decision together and find the world aligning to support it. Like a job offer coming right when you plan a move, or a random event confirming your choice. Jung saw these as the collective unconscious weaving souls together through meaningful events, creating an invisible web that binds you. It's as if the universe keeps whispering, "You're on the right path, this connection is part of a bigger story." The real beauty of these bonds is how they transform you. Their presence unlocks parts of you that were hidden. Talents, passions, courage you didn't know you had. Maybe you start painting because they inspire you, or they discover a knack for writing poetry when you're around. Together, you create things neither could alone, like a song or a project that feels effortless. Or one of you finds a gift for listening, the other for teaching, forming a partnership that feels natural and healing. These awakenings aren't just about creativity, they're about bravery. You take risks you wouldn't have before, not because you're pushed, but because their presence creates a safe space to explore new paths, to step into places you once feared. Sometimes, it's not a grand moment that changes you. It's a small one. A quiet touch when you're feeling low, a look that says they see you fully, or the sense that they know you before you even know yourself. These faded connections aren't always gentle. They can shake you, break old habits, and push you to grow. But that's the point. They don't mold you into someone else. They help you become more of who you truly are. When someone sees you this way, they set you free to be authentic, and that's where true wholeness begins. Conclusion. In a world full of empty words, a man's hands are the truest storytellers. They reveal what his heart feels but his voice can't say, his fears, his care, his deepest truths. Jung didn't teach us to seek perfect love, but whole love, grounded in seeing what's real. When you learn to read his hands, the way they give, rest, or create, you unlock a clarity that words can't provide. You see his feelings in the gentle brush of a finger, the steady effort of a task, the quiet reach for your hand in silence. This isn't about catching him out, it's about knowing him and yourself on a deeper level. That knowing frees you from doubt, making you strong, radiant, and unshakable. If this resonates, drop a like to show you're ready to see beyond words. Subscribe for more insights like this, and comment, "I'm learning to read his hands." Check the pinned comment. There's something special waiting to open your eyes and strengthen your heart. Don't miss it. Your soul knows why.